dedication. And we tied up in Waterford, and there it sat.
Okay, and that was before the guy converted it.
Dave Conroy.
No, well, I was thinking of the guy that did the execution.
Oh. Well, one good thing about the Tug Urger, it was built in 1901 in Ferrysburg, Michigan. Yes. Yep.
Oh, yeah, when you know.
Yep. Yeah, I just got on the phone with him.
So, listen to Steve.
So this boat was part of the floating plant from the late 40s. It has an Atlas Imperial engine that weighs almost 20 tons. This is a direct reversing engine, which means an engineer has to be in the engine room to reverse the engine back and forth, and the captain has a series of bells that he rings from the wheelhouse. So he has to pull the bell for direction, pull the bell for speed. And the engineer has to respond.
When they're awake. When they're awake.
When they're awake. Yeah. And well, with the Urgers, it was very dependable. It always started, and it went. In fact, the only prop I brought was the schedule of the Urger, and I'm going to give it to Craig for whatever you want. But every day for all of August, it was busy every single day.
This is from 1993.
Yep. That was with Skylar.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when kids would see this boat,
They would go nuts.
oh,
One kid lived in my neighborhood, and he toured the boat in Weedsport, and he looked at me and he goes, "I know him. His dog bit me."
Jeez.
But
so how did it handle relative to the Seneca?
very good, about the same way. Yep. If you didn't start it up real high at a high speed, if you had to, sometimes you had to, but usually it worked out pretty good. You had to anticipate your moves, of course. It's like driving a car on ice. But we had an educational tour that went all across the state. May 16th every year we'd start in Watkins Glen in May 16th.
Wow.
And then after that it was just all summer long going to events. People that were born on the canal would come here and tour the boat and talk about their family. One of the nice things too is people brought souvenirs that were in their family forever. Like ooga whistles and sirens and all kinds of noise making things that we liked. And we kept them on there. We were talking about making a museum out of it, like an amnesty program for all the ones that disappeared. Bring them back and make a museum out of it, you know? Everybody wanted the wheel off of this for above their fireplace, and a lot of lives were threatened.
So Steve, what is the Canal Corp going to do with the Tug Urger?
Right now they're just sitting here. I was the last captain on it, 2017, and I tried to document it best I could, but I was busy most of the time. That's the trouble when you're working, you can't document things. You know, you gotta do the best you can. And all the logbooks disappear. But to create a history of this boat, since 1985, it's done more for the public because of guys like John Germano, John Zamarthy, all these guys, they went out on a limb for these boats. Tom Prindle, yeah. You. They put their neck right on the chopping block and said, if this goes wrong, it's me. And that's what John Germano said. He invited me to Albany and he says, are you interested in this? And I said, yeah, John, I'd like it. And he goes, well, I got one request. He goes, you gotta have fun. If you're not having fun, the public will know it.
Right.
I said, I got you covered, John, I guarantee it.
So when did you learn how to have fun?
I think I fell.
Yeah.
I fell off the toilet when I was 3.
Yeah. And that was fun.
So
We made it fun, Dan.
So what's the problem now?
Right now it's maintenance. There's the windows open up there. The weather comes from the west. That window was in and out the other day, and the operator's stand is open right now. There's debris on the deck that rusts right through.
Right, because it'll flip. Right.
Yep. Anything where the debris is, it rots right through.
Do you still have hope?
Yeah, I do. I'm actually the captain of another boat, the Ronald J. Dulkey, that was built in 1903, and right now it's the oldest boat running in the Northeast, as far as I know. But it's hard to find work for them.
Now
But this boat served its purpose because when it rained, we went into school. We had a model lock that looked like a coffin, and we used to put the smallest guy in it and wheel him into school, and then go get the lock later. Don Carney would pop up from the lock. Hiya, kids. Just like that. But yeah, we had a lot of teachers. We had 3 generations on this boat come to see about it and hear about it. One lady said, I was here way back when, who was it? When they did it with the Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you
That's
know.
Steamboat.
Yeah, they took the Cleveland in '89.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Steamboat.
No,
No.
no, it was after that.
Okay.
But Steam Voices was good. But yeah, see, where the tire is where those fenders used to hang.
What fenders are those, Steve?
What fenders? I didn't see any fenders. But this was well
It's funny,
fendered. And all
the
brass
chancellor
was
used to have
polished.
fenders just like that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It was all well fendered though at the boat.
How were the living accommodations?
Well, when I started on there, we didn't have a shower, we didn't have a galley. We had a pump that went to a tank down in the engine room. There was no running water, and there was a DC elevator motor on here that kept breaking down, and they took that out. But we used to just swim in the canal, and the troopers came by one time up in Middleport, and they told us that we couldn't swim in the canals against the law. Don Carney again says, we're not swimming, we're taking a bath. So, but that's how we started it. We drove our own cars all across the state. And the last time I was on the Urger just 5 years ago, we had state vehicles follow us, 2 vans, and they were putting people in motels and everything else. And before that, we just roughed it. We even used Manila line. We froze the time at around 1948. We tried to live exactly like they did in 48. Except Carney says, except for the electric toaster.
So I want to thank the Canal Corp for letting us come on the property.
Oh, you're very welcome. Glad you guys enjoy all this.
So,
We have a pointed the other way. We got a complaint from across the river. How come we always paint all or park all the boats with the asses facing to them? So we're trying to give them the bow now.
So they can read the name, tell them.
Right.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Hope it's going well today. For
It is.
Yes,
Yeah.
Good.
very
Good.
well.
Glad to hear it.
So Steve, thanks very much.
Welcome.
So can you tell us what to do to help save these boats?
Raise hell, write letters. You know, that's about all you can do. I've been trying for a long time, and after a while you almost give up. Usually it gets into such a personal thing, and you know, it's funny, but the passionate people are the ones that are stealing the stuff so it doesn't get stolen. And
They're
then
protecting it.
they know where it is later, you know, at least they're doing it to go back where it belongs. There's a lot of things that I would like to see. On this boat in Phoenix for Canal days, there was a stone cutter, Mr. Sweet, right here in Phoenix. He cut us a big, beautiful stone that said Urger on it.
Wow.
And it disappeared almost immediately, but well, the next season it was gone, but
Is it true you once stole the tug Reliable?
yes.
Oh, well, okay.
Yes, I did. And then my boss told me to take it to Lyons, and I had cable ready at my house on the Seneca River, and I towed it to my house and cabled it off. And about 2 weeks later, he called up and he goes, "Where'd you tie up the Reliable?"
It's
I
safe.
said, "It's in my house. It's at Wonderland." And he goes, "No, really?" I said, "No, really, it's at my house." I says, "The state doesn't deserve it. They're not taking good care of it." I says, "I'm gonna clean it up, and it's still in the canal, so I didn't take it off your property." They couldn't say anything to that, but
And where is the Reliable now?
it's under the ocean
Ooh, is it
with
one
a
under
starfish on the
bridge?
towing bits.
That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, the Reliable had that same engine as this, a direct reversing Atlas Imperial engine. Same horsepower as RPMs.
So who do we write the letters to?
Your nearest politician.
Yeah, about
Okay.
Kathy Hochul. She dedicated part of the walkway near Lockport
Try it, I don't
when
know.
she was with the Canal Commissioner.
Yeah, the Preservation League has been very active in trying to call attention to the Urger.
Yep.
So you can find that on their website.
If it
So-
couldn't float again, it'd look nice in a church parking lot.
We've already set aside room for the chancellor. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
yeah.
Chancellor.
Chancellor.
That's a joke.
That's a good one.
Oh. So with that, I want to thank Steve Wunder. Came out of his way to preach about the preservation of these tugboats, and nobody is better to do it. Thank you.